Well, hey there, and welcome back to Viewpoint Christian Academy, where we have been helping families and empowering parents for Christian education since 1984. Welcome back to another Monday Moments episode. What a great year we have had and are continuing to have. And I want to take a few moments in this Monday Moment to recap some of the successes that we have seen this year and also talk about going forward. If maybe your child didn't finish all their work as of yet, can they still do that? The answer is yes, and we'll talk about that as well. All right, let me start by going over some of the amazing accomplishments of our students this year. Our 50 students did a phenomenal job. We had our Christian education celebration last Saturday, June 12th, and we experienced some high school graduation, some kindergarten graduation, and then some awards and recognition to our students for some of their achievements and accomplishments. So let's go over a couple of those things. I just want to give a quick shout out to our distinguished graduates, Cassandra Penny and Sophia McAlarney Gross. They astounded us this year with their academics. They just did a phenomenal job. Cassie was very highly motivated, and I think maybe she had some of the COVID jitters or something, and so in order to help her get it out, she just did her work early and frequently. And so she's continued working over last summer and diligently throughout the fall and finished all of her requirements for graduation by Christmas, before Christmas. That was her Christmas present to herself, I guess. And so she distinguished herself in that way, and that she was able to accomplish. And it wasn't, and she accomplished the honors course of study here at Viewpoint, which has a higher requirement of courses that must be taken, as well as a higher average requirement. And she just was able to have an overall high school average of A. She had in the 90s for an average, and that's just fantastic, and that is just phenomenal. And so she has distinguished herself. She also did some dual enrollment as well. So she accomplished a college course, English composition course as well, that will help her as she gets started and moving forward in the fall. So we're just so proud of her, as well as Sophia. Sophia did a phenomenal job this year. Actually, Sophia came to us as a junior, and she was slated to finish this year and then do another year next year. However, she decided, you know what? I want to graduate this year. And so she worked diligently, and she completed 2 years worth of work this year. Fantastic job, a phenomenal year, and a phenomenal accomplishment to do that by any student. That's just amazing that they could actually be that diligent and work that hard, and she did it. And so we're so proud of her and looking forward to what the Lord has in her life as she continues to move forward and serve and honor Him as well. So we're so glad about the distinguished accomplishments of our graduates. But let's also look at some overall statistics and numbers. And I'm kind of geeking out on numbers right now and statistics and all these kind of things. So bear with me for a minute. But 52% of our student body was recognized on the honor roll this past Saturday. And what is the honor roll at Viewpoint? Well, at Viewpoint, you know that we follow a mastery-based model. So the students are not allowed to get anything below an 80%, right? So the students have an A or a B average, and that's our requirement, because we want to ensure that they are learning and progressing forward accurately without any gaps showing up. And so they all have the required really good averages in order to keep moving and whenever they finish any work. However, honor roll really for us represents the fact that they did all of their assigned work. They completed the 10 units per subject in Ignitia, or the 12 units per subject in the PACE curriculum, the paper curriculum, and they completed all of their required assignments. In other words, they learned 100%, successfully learned 100% of everything that was expected of them that year. That is the distinguishing characteristic of our honor roll. 26 of our students made it in time for recognition at our award ceremony on Saturday, but more are getting there. In fact, this week we're going to announce some other people who finished 100% of their work for the year as well, because maybe they were just at 98%, 99% in all of in their subjects, or they had finished some but not all. So the students are continuing to progress, and they're going to finish that up, and they are going to also complete 100% of their work. So, and then most of the remaining students that have subject work left are in the high 80s and 90% complete, and so therefore it's realistic that they will indeed be able to finish that this year. The entire student body as well this year, on an overall average for everything that was done, we had a 91 point some odd percent, an A- average school-wide, K through 12. I'll take those numbers any day. That's fantastic. And so we're just so proud of our students, and we're so proud of the parents that were there to motivate them and inspire them as well to get things done. About 2,200 units of work with a mastery level of 80%. That only counts the units of work that achieved the 80% or better mastery level were completed this year. That is a ton of work. Here's one other student, a couple of other students that distinguished themselves. We had one student this year, Brianna Penny, high school student in her sophomore year, decided, you know what, I want to graduate early too. And she completed her sophomore and her junior year of high school. And now this includes subjects like, I'll name a few, chemistry, physics. She did probability and statistics and algebra 2 and other courses. Okay, so she did a lot of not easy courses, but a lot of difficult courses that required a lot of work on her part. She completed 107 units in Ignitia this year. That is astounding. That is amazing. And she did it all with an overall average of A. She had A average this year. That is phenomenal and fantastic. So we've had some really good success. We have several students, like Alexa Burlingame, that were able to complete 2 years of work in some subjects. Maybe not in every subject, but in some subjects. And most of the subjects where students completed 2 years worth of work were in math and language arts. That's astounding. That's amazing. So we're so glad for their accomplishments. Now, let me talk to the families who maybe they didn't finish everything yet. Now, some families, maybe you have more than one student enrolled and one student is finished, maybe another is not, or, you know, that might be the scenario. But let me just remind you that we are not on the conveyor belt in regards to education. We don't adhere to the herd mentality. Okay, we're just going to move you along. Doesn't matter whether you learned it or not. You're just going to move along. No, we're going to keep on going and finish, Lord willing. Now, let's say, okay, there's no way my child's going to get it all done. We still need to have a summer break and a summer vacation. Well, let's talk about that. Okay, we don't skip over work, right? We're all about finding gaps, filling in the gaps, and building on that and successfully proceeding and progressing, right? So we don't skip work. And I'm sure you don't want your child to have gaps or miss out on some of their learning. So here's how we work it, right? So let's say they stop for the year and then they come back in the fall. They would pick up right where they left off. Pick up right where they left off. Now, there's some pros and cons to that. Let's talk about the pro. Especially if they're a high school student, is a big pro. Most schools, if you get an incomplete, you have to start that whole work over again and do the whole course. Whereas you can stop, that's fine, but in the fall, you pick it back up. So let's say you did 8 out of 10 units for that high school credit. Okay, so you got the 8 done. When you come back the next fall, you either finish them over the summer or you start them back again in the fall, so you finish those last 2 units to get the full credit. We can't give you the full credit until you finish, but once you do finish, we can give you that full credit. But you don't have to start over from the beginning and go through the whole thing again. That's a plus, right? That's a pro. What's the con to that? Well, the con is that you're actually going to be behind. So that's going to eat into your time, right, for working on the next year. Say you're a freshman and now you're going to have a later start on your sophomore year. So what's the best and most ideal scenario is to try to finish it up over the summer. If you finish it up over the summer, then you can start fresh in the fall and complete that full year's worth of work. But either way, again, we're not just on a conveyor belt, keep moving with time. We're not in a herd mentality, moving stuff along. No, you're going to do all the work and learn all that is expected as you progress. And we can accommodate that. We can help you with that. Same thing goes, let's say, you have a student who finished 9 out of 10 history and geography this year, all right, for their 5th grade. And now they're expected to move on to the 6th grade work next year. Well, they won't start the 6th grade history and geography until they do that final 10th unit of the history and geography. Now, again, ideally, it's better to finish up over the summer if you can. Work hard now. Try to push real hard to get through maybe month of June. Maybe you'll need some time in July. I don't know. But try to get it done. And then you got a nice fresh start in the fall, ready to go and progress on forward. Well, I hope that helped answer some questions. I hope you're as excited as I am about the accomplishment and achievements of so many of our students. Lord bless you. You have a great day. And just a reminder that Viewpoint is from now until middle of August, will be on our modified summer hour schedule. Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's our modified summer schedule. We're still there to help students. We are still providing them the help that they need. We're still taking phone calls. We're still talking to parents. We're still doing all these things. But just we're on a modified schedule from now until the middle of August. So for a couple of months. All right. God bless you. Have a great day.